In this video, we are going to talk about how you should decide on choosing nominees for your term insurance. See, I'm sure you might be thinking that it's a very simple topic. I'll just nominate my wife or I'll simply nominate my parents and I'll be done with it. But sadly, it's a little more complicated than that, especially in the Indian context. It's because succession laws come into the place. See, what happens is most men, they tend to buy a term insurance when they are young because all the influencers preach that buy it young, it will be cheap. And they buy it when they're not really married. So what they do is they put in their parents, maybe their mother or their father, as the nominee. And after that, they get married and they don't really put their wife's name, or maybe they don't want to, maybe they forget or whatever. I'm not questioning their love for their wife whatsoever, but it tends to happen. It just goes off the mind because who thinks about insurance, right? Unless you're paying the premium. So by chance, if something happens to you, what will happen? Will your wife get anything? Maybe you can say that, oh, my parents are very nice, they will take care of my wife, whatever. But let's do a little bit of reality check in the dark side of finance matters. In a lot of cases, it has been seen that the parents don't pass on any money to the wife. Yeah, it's true. Maybe there's some issues, maybe there's some side. There are a lot of family problems which happen, and this is one of the major things that a lot of the in-laws don't really want to take care of the widow of their son. I'm not generalizing, but I've seen these things happening. These are all case studies, right? Because if I'm not giving an example, how will you understand? Now let's come to the other side of it. Let's say some people are quite intelligent and they buy a term insurance after they're married and they tend to put in their wife's name in the nominee. Only their wife, only the wife's name. So what happens in this case? Yeah, you can say my wife will take care of my parents, whatever. But the thing is, if your wife is the only nominee in your term insurance, then your wife will get everything. And legally, she is not bound to give anything to her in-laws. Yeah. You can say that, oh, my father parents will file a case on my wife and whatsoever, but it won't have any legal standing once because after you, the next line of succession comes is your wife. Yeah. So there are both sides of this industry that sometimes the parents don't take care of the wife, the wife doesn't take care of her in-laws. It's messed up, but you can avoid all of this by simply nominating both your parents and your wife. You can, of course, choose your percentage. It can be 50%, 50% on both sides, 75, 25, anything. But if your parents or your wife are dependent on you, then it's always better to nominate them. And it's even better if you make a will. So, as a son and as a husband, you should make a will. That's the best thing that you can do. These things are not talked about. Mostly people are into just mutual fund stocks and everything. But what will happen if something happens to you and your loved ones are not taken care of because of some internal conflicts which you might not know about? See, finance is a dark industry and people share a lot of things which unofficially and officially I can say many of the cases are in public as well. Recently, there was this case of a soldier who died and he received posthumously, I forgot what's the award called. And well, what happened is wife got all of his gratuity and all of the stuff that comes along with the award. And apparently from the media, she flew out to Australia. I don't know if it's a fake news or not, but the parents on record, the parents of the soldier, the son, they said on record that they received nothing from the wife. So these cases are very common, and let's not talk about all the cases that are on women. I mean, all the cases in which the in-laws don't take care of the, wife, and that's anyway. So this was the video. These are some unknown things about finance which no one talks about because these are not sexy enough to talk, I think. But it's as important as just buying a term insurance or accumulating assets, building wealth, investing in mutual funds or stocks or anything. So yeah, this is the video. Check out the links in the description. And if you want to see the video in which I spoke about why married working women should make a will, then watch this video.